terms of the things I'll be sharing today, I'll be going through some of the things that I know, some of the things that I've learned. I'm going to start off briefly with, what do we mean by mental health? So the definition I alluded to earlier on from the World Health Organization says a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. So that definition, there's a part of me that feels we need a definition that is very unique to COVID-19. Having said all of that though, a term that I actually prefer to use is holistic health and well-being. As part of managing our mental health, as part of managing our holistic health, we need to be checking in with each of these 5 areas on a regular basis to see, actually, how am I doing? How am I doing when it comes to my intellect? How am I doing when it comes to my emotions? How am I doing physically? How am I doing spiritually? How am I doing socially? So there's some signs that you kind of need to watch out for when it comes to our mental health and mental well-being. So the first one, feeling anxious or worried, feeling depressed or unhappy, emotional outbursts, sleep problems, weight or appetite changes, quiet or withdrawn, substance abuse, really important one. Sometimes with isolation, sometimes what people do is that they might go to the drink, they might go to drugs. So it's about being sort of mindful of that. And then the next one is feeling guilty or feeling this sense of worthlessness, those limiting beliefs of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, no one cares about me. And then that final one, changes in behavior or feelings. Having one of these means that there is definitely a mental health issue. So the model that I'm going to talk you through is called the window of tolerance. This is that moment where we kind of feel everything is going okay. We're feeling calm, we're feeling cool, we're feeling collected, we're feeling connected with our lives. So for some people with COVID-19 and with the isolation, with the physical distancing, that window is getting much, much smaller. So people were worried about money. There are loads of businesses that are folding up. So there is that sort of fear of uncertainty. So when we are triggered in terms of the fear or the pain, the various ways that we can respond to it go into this fight or flight response. And this is where we are hyper aroused. Those outbursts that I talked about in those 9 signs, might sort of come up. Now, some people who might not go into the hyper aroused, they might go into the hypo aroused, which is the freeze response. And so with the freeze response, they might be tired all the time. They might start to separate themselves from their emotions. An example of this is someone who doesn't want to get out of bed. Okay, what do I need to do to maintain that window so that it becomes bigger? Mindfulness is one. The next one is movement. Movement is really great. Play some music and dance to it. Journaling is also another way that can sort of help us stay within that window. Wholehearted connection. When I say wholehearted connections, what I actually mean is having those meaningful contact with someone. Part of being alive is that there will be times where we go out of that window, where that window becomes really, really small. Like with COVID-19, that affects people in different ways. And there'll be times where the window becomes really big.